3 on the addendum agenda, release of contingency fund reserve as the American Airlines New York City Air Service Revenue Guarantee. What's the pleasure of the board? Supervisor Valadez.
Madam Chair, I'm going to go ahead and move that we approve the item, but I'd also like to have Mr. Eisberg kind of talk a little bit about more the particulars on how this was done, who's paying the bulk of the $3 million deal, and what was the benefit, both the reason why it was done and going forward, why it's still advantageous for us to do.
I'll second the motion. It's Mr. Huckleberry.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, this is an effort that has probably taken about 2 years to get to the point of where it is. It's an attempt to try and increase air service out of Tucson International Airport with more direct flights. The discussion occurred some time ago that in doing so, airlines were in a position of not dedicating specific infrastructure, which is simply planes, to such an effort without having some assurances that the passenger load could in fact be accommodated by what they felt was a break-even proposition. And I believe that was about an 80% load or a little larger for the New York City flight. American Airlines requested and received in this combination public-private partnership this air service guarantee. The air service guarantee totaled $3 million, and it is a fund that the airlines can begin to draw upon as they demonstrate continued losses with regard to the air service. They have, I think, during the summer months and fairly shortly going to suspend that direct flight and then restart it again in the fall to determine if their ridership increases. And I don't know that they know today exactly how much of the revenue fund guarantee that they're going to draw upon. The initial request was for half of the partners who had basically agreed, and there are really very large number of private sector partners, mostly coordinated through the Chamber of Commerce, and 2 public sector partners, the City of Tucson and Pima County. Our revenue guarantee was $100,000 of our contingency, or what we call budget reserve. Cities of Tucson was $75,000. The primary effort here is really to try and increase the amount of tourism revenue that comes into the region. In the recession that started in 2007, the aggregate revenues to the tourism agency as well as the county were significantly impacted. They went from as high in the aggregate of the hotel industry in the unincorporated areas, $8.7 million annually, to just, I think, the previous year from today, as low as $6 million, 6.1. That's about a 50% reduction. Many of our programs that we offer through the stadium district or others are supported by not only this hotel bed tax share that we statutorily receive from the state, but also the county general fund. So our primary purpose in investing in this partnership was to try and increase the amount of hotel bed taxes that the region receives. And in doing so, we would have offset general fund contributions that occur in several county departments with regard to tourism activities or activities that are supported by these hotel and motel bed taxes. So that's the background. The private partners are making their contributions, and the item that I placed on the board's agenda is to have the board release the budget reserve contingency that's been made for this purpose and allow us to transfer those monies via the Chamber of Commerce to probably American Airlines.
Madam Chair,
Supervisor Miller.
I don't recall this item ever becoming before the Board of Supervisors, and I don't recall ever seeing any kind of agreement on this. This was a deal, the contract is between American Airlines and the Tucson Chamber of Commerce. They made a bad deal. it wasn't any, shock when it failed, because they've tried this 2 or 3 times before, and every time the airline pulls out. Mr. Rossemacher made a bad deal guaranteeing $3 million. And as a result of that, why are we now going back to the taxpayers and asking them to subsidize his bad deal? This is just wrong. I think it's a violation of the gift clause. And I am going to strongly object to this item.
Madam Chair,
Supervisor
just
Christie.
a couple of quick questions to Mr. Huckleberry. The $100,000, is that the most we are contributing? And we've already contributed to it, and we're releasing our share? Is that?
Madam Chair and Supervisor Christie, our maximum allocation is $100,000. It was set aside in the budget reserve. It was an agreement that was made between the private parties and county management. And ultimately, it has to be released by the board. And the request for release is for half of the amount that had been pledged.
Madam Chair, I understand the concerns of Supervisor Miller and how she's articulated them. I on the other hand, feel that this is a perfect example of a public and private partnership. The business community, through the chamber collectively, and individual business leaders have pledged their personal money towards this endeavor, which I think is albeit a risky one, but nonetheless a valuable one in efforts to try to increase tourism and airline connections to Tucson. If we talk about the 3 Ps, this is certainly an example of how the two entities, the business community and public government, can come together. It has a lot of issues to it as far as whether or not they're going to succeed or not, but all in all, I think if we're going to spend our money for economic development, it shows good faith on the county to at least participate when individual citizens and business organizations are willing to step up to the plate. So I'm going to support and I'm going to vote in support of this measure.
Thank you, Supervisor Christie. And I concur with your conclusion. And it's not clear that this won't be a success. And you're right, if we are going to grow this economy, it really is about the 3 Ps, the public-private partnerships. I appreciate your comments. Any other comments? Roll call.
Supervisor Christie?
Yes?
Supervisor Elias? Aye. Supervisor Miller?
No.
Supervisor Valdez?
Aye.
Chair Bronson?
Aye, motion carries 4-1.